She's online.
Do you need are you making raspberry soup? Mmm. Do you want to taste it? You gotta taste it. Every chef tastes the recipe. Right, honey?
Yep. What are you making, Freddie? Be careful not to put any of those in your nose.
Hey, what'd you put in your nose last night? A Lego? What kind of Lego? Was it a gun or a wheel or a sword?
It was a sword.
How'd you get that Lego out of your nose?
Daddy.
Okay.
Exciting. Gus, what do you want? What do you want to have for dinner?
Rabbit.
Rabbit. Cool. Are people on?
Yep.
People on board?
Will you scoot Freddie down to the corner?
Scoot down a little bit, Freddie. Hey, what's up, guys? We are going to cook, as requested by Gus Rucker, rabbit dinner tonight.
And Colleen requested it.
Oh, and Colleen. Oh, well, so this is a little bit of a mashup of a recipe from the cookbook. It's a creamed rabbit, but I don't really remember the recipes from the book that well, so I just kind of freestyled this one. I also happen to have some truffles kicking around that I saved before we did our COVID closure at Le Pigeon. And so as I was thinking about what the restaurant looks like when we reopen and what I want the restaurant to look like, it might not look exactly like it did when we closed, and nobody knows. But this is something that immediately I wanted to eat, and I think that I want to serve to you guys. So I'm just kind of testing out, you could say. This is the first time I'm testing out and I'm putting my head in the place of like cooking for the restaurant, not cooking for the family or cooking for you guys on Instagram.
Gus, will you put those berries back in the fridge so they don't get wasted?
Anyways, what we have is
Okay.
a whole rabbit.
Here, scoot down.
And so we have a whole rabbit. I have, for this purpose, removed the offal, or the innards, the kidneys, the hearts, and the liver, and I've given this just a little bit of a rinse. It's got a fairly similar makeup to chicken in that you've got like these hind legs, and you're going to pop them and take them apart. And then you've got these forequarters, and then you've got a belly and a saddle. And there's actually a picture in our cookbook here that I opened up that my good friend David Reamer photographed, and that's his handwriting, not mine. And that kind of takes you through it, because we have if you haven't gotten the Le Pigeon cookbook and you're interested in rabbit, we actually have a whole chapter on rabbits. It's one of the cool ways that I think we did our book. So I'm going to start this recipe. I've kind of taken the liberty of dicing up the mirepoix and the bacon. I do, for this recipe, have a black French truffle that I brought from the restaurant. This is a Perigord truffle, so this is the truffle that's in season in the winter. And then this same variety of truffle is in season in our summer, where it comes from Australia. And that's actually my favorite time to use truffles, is the Australian black truffle, which is the same variety. But I love pairing black truffle with the summer flavors: peaches, truffles, corn, truffles, and maybe we can get some truffles and eat it with the corn we just planted today. So without further ado, let's go ahead. I've got a pasta pot on.
Wash your hands, Gus.
And so let's go ahead and break down or butcher this rabbit and get it in a place where we can cook it.
Is all the guts out?
Oh, there's no guts, there's no blood. I already washed it out. So I've got this special cutting board because I don't want to get the meat on my butcher block. And so, like I said, we've got these hindquarters right here, and this is where the majority of the meat on a rabbit's going to come from. It's a fairly lean animal. Like most proteins or meats when we do these shows, I got this from Nikki USA. They actually breed and butcher and process rabbits themselves. And I've been working with Jeff at Nikki USA for a long time. Rabbit was the first meat that he sold out of the trunk of his car.
That sounds
doesn't
terrible.
sound good, but hey, it was the early 90s. So Jeff, if you're listening, kudos to you.
Gus,
So what I'm going to do, if you've ever broken down a chicken, is you take the hind legs and you find these joints right here, and you pop it. So a lot of butchery is actually, I'd say about 75% using your hands. It's not all knife. So I popped it, so now it's loose from the joint, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one too. And then I can feel. If you want to touch that, son?
No.
Just touch it. Okay, so I know where my knife needs to go now because I've popped that. And then once again, my hand, I'm going to turn it. And so that's a nice hind quarter rabbit, fairly easy. Didn't have to cut through a lot of bone. Don't worry, that's coming up. So once again, you can feel. Gus wants to raise rabbits, so we're going to try and raise some rabbits here. Maybe not after this, huh?
I still want to raise that.
Cool. Good answer. So then we're going to move up. So that's the 2 hindquarters are off. Then we're going to move up to these the 4 quarters. And this, I don't need to pop. They've actually kind of done it. I don't know how these things, the muscles work, but they've done it for me. And so I just pinch that, and I'm just going to go right in like this. This is not that meaty, but the trick with why we cook a rabbit like this, whole, and then we're going to take all the meat off, is because you need every little bit of meat.
You never seen a rabbit?
Yeah.
So then there's a couple of things that you could do here. Is this making you sick, son?
Gus, are you sick? What happened?
He doesn't. There's the belly flap here. You could take the saddle off and use this to wrap stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right through and then with the heel of my hand. And then this is just a tail piece right here. There's no meat there, so just to save room in the pot. So I've got 6 pieces of rabbit.
His face.
Is he into it?
He said disgusting.
Oh. It's all done, Gus. I'm going to get rid of this board. And then I'm going to use this Dutch oven, because you know I love my Dutch oven. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the bottom. And turn it up over a highish heat. Our water for pasta.
Do you want a cup to drink your cocktail out of? You want to spoon your cocktail into a cup? We gotta check on Gus. Gabe's gonna go check on him. Make sure he's okay. Do you want a wine glass? You want what? Your Paw Patrol cup. Okay. Do you need something like a scooper? Oh, Gus is gonna pass out.
No, he's fine.
He's okay?
He's just gonna relax.
He gotta lay down.
We had to have. We needed time to let this Dutch oven heat up, anyways.
Here, Freddie, I'll give you a little scooper.
So for all of you guys that got online and ordered Bird Box at noon on Sunday, we sold all 100 Bird Boxes and 60 Steamburger kits in 13 minutes, and I want to say thank you very much. And just know that we'll be doing it again next week. The same thing. You got to log on at noon, and hopefully, hopefully you're good at the internet. I guess I don't know, but thank you very much for giving it a go. I also would like to say that.
Are you okay, Gus? Everyone's worried about you.
For those of you that maybe don't have the wherewithal to get rabbit, or maybe the COVID quarantine, you're out of work, you're not getting your stimulus check or something, I had to do, this is one of the recipes I had to do twice. So I have dinner for my family tonight that I'm cooking. I'm going to have all of this rabbit meat ready to go again. So if somebody wants to send me a direct message as to why your family would like to eat this for dinner, go ahead and hit me up. Give me your information. I'll get back to you, and you can come down and pick up all of it, everything you need. It'll be all cooked. You just need to heat up some pasta and cook it yourself, reheat it yourself at your house tomorrow. But I'd like to give one family dinner for themselves. So go ahead and send us a direct message, and Han and I will look at it after the show. So I'm going to I put a little salt on these. I'm going to go ahead. We got a sizzling pan here, And you might be thinking to yourself, it seems a little crowded. It is, but that's okay. I'm leaving the main body parts out.
Can I give you a hug, Gus? I'm worried about you. Is it just the sight of the meat? Was it the meat part?
It was just gross and crazy when you like cut into it and like nip the bone or something.
Yeah, too much.
You make sure the slide on or off on?
It's fine. Off. Oh no, on's good.
So I'm grabbing this.
Have a piece of candy or something. Bring your blood sugar back up, okay? Sorry, guys. I was not watching when I was filming because I'm trying to talk to Gus. He's like he's got the vapors. He needs some smelling salts. What are you making, Freddie? So, butchering rabbit is too graphic for Gus. I guess when we have rabbits, we'll have to pay someone else to butcher them.
A couple things about this recipe. If you can't afford the truffle, like I said, I mean, to be honest, don't. Just don't, unless you are wealthy beyond your means, because we don't eat like this at home, but for you guys, we do. One thing that this recipe does call for, truffle oil. Either you love it or you hate it. I love it. I think that a little bit of this, you don't have to have this. You're totally in business. And a bottle like this is probably about 20 bucks. I get this from Provista. If you want to go to Providor Fine Foods, you can probably find a really nice truffle oil. I personally think white truffle oil is where you want to go. And funny thing about truffle oil is it's actually a synthetic odor. It's not made from real truffles most of the time. But it adds a really great kick. And when I'm working with truffles in the restaurant, I use this in conjunction with real truffles to add, we talk about layering flavors a ton. Another thing, this recipe uses sherry. I love cooking with sherry. We've done it before. You could use white wine, but I think that this is essentially like using brown sugar in place of white sugar. It adds depth, it has caramelization, and it gives you just a little bit extra kick. Not to mention there's a little bit of sweetness to a cream sherry, whereas a dry sherry is going to be a little bit more like a drier or a white, closer to a white wine than the fortified wines. I like the sweetness with the truffle, the earthiness, the smokiness of the bacon. And then another thing.
Wait, can you stop for a sec? How much are truffles, out of curiosity?
What I buy them when they're good, $600 a pound. These are French Perigord truffles, $600 a pound. Between the season ranges, depending on how good the harvest is and what the peak is. So it goes anywhere from there's also grades, of course, you know.
And then what about truffle salt? Would you recommend using that?
What? That was, okay, good to come back. Tell everyone that Gus looked at it and said it looks good.
Gus, everyone, can you tell everyone you're feeling better?
Give him a thumbs up. Yeah, truffle salt is a good thing to do. I don't think truffle salt alone is going to give you the kick, but it ain't going to hurt. Also, I really realized I should have put this in the recipe. If you can't find a rabbit, this is going to be an amazing dish with a chicken.
Yes.
Super easy, no worries. We're styling with chicken. So, just a nice light browning. Not trying to go too crazy. Like I said, the pan was crowded. That's okay. Now I'm going to get these bodies in here. This is the loin right here. There's going to be good meat right here. This is called the saddle.
Does it matter which side you put in first?
No. So, chicken stock, because I haven't been cooking with good chicken stock, I have been doing these recipes with store-bought. Trader Joe's chicken stock, totally fine. With the restaurant getting going and Bird Box, I went in, I made a big batch of stock. I'm going to start using stock, and we're going to have stock for sale from the restaurant. If you purchase a Bird Box, you can add a couple quarts of chicken stock, put it in your freezer, so that way you're cooking with the same stock as I am. And a real famous chef, one of the most famous ever, Escoffier, has a famous quote. It says, "A cook is only as good as its stock." So, buy good stock, your food will taste better. Or buy my stock, your food will taste even better.
Will you have stock to sell?
I got what?
You have stock to sell?
We're gonna have stock to sell next week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're gonna have some good staples. We're gonna be selling some blue cheese dressing. Steam burger kits are gonna keep going. We're gonna be selling stock. If there's stuff that you guys want, I'm thinking about selling some duck stack kits, as well as foie gras for people to sear, and really nice high-grade pork chops.
Wow.
So if those things sound good, thumbs up me, because I need to know what you guys want to buy.
Yep. Trying to figure it out.
All right, so some nice color going on here. Now, I love the combination. So rabbit's a lean meat, okay? There's not a ton of fat on it. Bacon adds smokiness, and it adds a great way to get.
You're gonna need to, yeah, it's gonna, smoke alarm's gonna go off.
Will you shut the hall door, Gus?
Yeah.
So bacon is a great way for us to get some fat, some depth of flavor, and a little smoky element going on here.
Can you ship any of these food items to people?
No. No, shut the hall door. Okay. So the bacon went in, it's caramelizing, it's happening real fast. I've got one large carrot diced up. 2 stalks of celery diced up. 1/2 of an onion.
If you're not sure what?
I might have forgot garlic in that recipe.
Oh.
Ask people if I put garlic in there.
Hey, Freddie.
Get out of the fridge.
What are you doing? He's got all the tortillas out.
We're not having rabbit tostadas.
Oh, our fridge is very empty and very dirty. Okay, go back to your cutting board, you little tortilla leprechaun.
At this point, we've salted the rabbit. I'm also going to salt the veg just a little bit. I'm going to stir. If I forgot to put garlic in this recipe, I'm sorry. I'm going to throw a couple cloves in because why not?
It needs it. Yes, someone said you did put garlic in. 6 cloves, it said.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of garlic.
And then one of my secret weapons in the kitchen, especially at home, is to have something like this called poultry seasoning. That way I don't have to have like 6 or 7 different little...
All this is in the way.
Different spices over there. I can just buy that one, and that gives me a nice depth. It's a good mix. It's usually got some of the, like the Garfunkel herbs, as we call them, you know, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Probably some...
What's that, Fred? You need a knife?
Can you help Freddie get a knife, Gus?
Yeah.
Okay, so our garlic is in there, of course. We've got our poultry seasoning. Cracked black pepper. And I'm not trying to cook this veg down all the way because I want the rabbit to cook and I don't want it to be mushy. Okay? So we're just mixing this. This is just a very light sweat. We've used that term before. And then we're going to add that cherry. This isn't going to be a fireball, don't worry, honey. I'm going to let that just come up to a quick boil so the booze can cook out. Truffle oil is going in. If you like it really truffly, you can add a little bit more. If you don't like it, you can leave it out. This is a great dish without the truffle aspect as well. I'm going to put this poultry seasoning away. And now our rabbit's going to go back in, and I'm just kind of layering it. And this is a good, you want to know what's a braise. This is a great, we're braising. We've seared it, we've added liquid. It's not like completely submerged. It's mostly covered. chicken stock. I know this is 2 cups because it's 1 quart and I used 2 cups before. So that is your legwork. You're going to bring this up to a boil. This is what it looks like. Okay. Everybody, we're going to go ahead and put it in the oven at 350.
This is the magic
about
part.
An hour and a half. We're going to take it out of the oven because it's been an hour and a half.
Time traveling.
And that's what you have to work with.
Oh, people want to know the story of the Lego in Freddy's nose.
Well,
We were just watching TV.
yeah, Gus can tell you.
We were just watching TV. And he was playing with this Lego rocket ship that he got. And then he just looked at us and said, I got a Lego up my nose. And then we opened the window. So we went to our neighbor's house. And they went to the ER.
How did the Lego come out of his nose?
Dad, like, pinched the other side that the Lego was not in, and then he breathed in Freddy's mouth, and then it shot out and hit him in the nose.
Freddie, was that crazy night or what? Was that just a way to spice up Mother's Day?
Hey, tortilla head.
Are you going to put anything else in your nose tonight?
All right. I've taken the rabbit meat, the pieces out. I've let it cool down slightly. The rabbit meat's on this tray. It's all on one side. Now I'm just going to shred the meat off the bone. Just kind of gingerly pick it. I don't want it to turn into mush. I want to have pieces of rabbit in this pasta dish.
Oh, here's truffle.
Yeah. So that's the hindquarters. It's not like a high yield deal. You're going to pay about, I think, if you call and go, we'll call it Nick USA, probably about $20 for a rabbit, and that's worth it for a specialty meat item, you know.
Wait, $20 for a whole rabbit?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
And so this belly piece
So
right
if
here,
you raised rabbits, Gus, you could get a Lego for every rabbit that you sold for food. A Lego kit.
I mean, theoretically.
Well, they're not going to give you $20 for it, I guess. But you could still get a Lego kit.
We're gonna keep some.
So this is the tender one, and I'm not doing a lot of science. I'm just really, the main thing I'm trying to do is just get all the meat and no bones. And you know what? This isn't the restaurant. This is home. And so if you do have a little bone, who's going to get pissed off at you? Like around this rib cage here, there's meat that I'm pulling off.
Does anybody have any questions while we're doing this?
So,
I do.
What's your question, Freddie? Do you usually like to cook braised meat in the stock at restaurant before you pick it so it retains more moisture?
Yeah. 1 second. We braise everything that's. You braise it in liquid, so whatever. Stock is great. 1 second, I'm just gonna, so we can be on time here. I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of heavy cream. I'm gonna turn this back on. Oh, look, I found a 4-quarter.
How would you describe the flavor of rabbit? Like a
It's
sweet
fancy chicken.
sweet chicken, yeah.
It's not too gamey, actually.
It's more
It's
tender.
really- you're just really just.
Do you want to try some rabbit, Freddie, and let us know how it tastes?
Josh,
No.
you want to try a piece?
good.
So I got the cream in there. At this point, because we're talking about one of the biggest things when you're a home cook, what do you try and do? How do I make dinner happen on time, at the right time? I've got my noodles here. I've got a pot of boiling water. And you know what? If that old adage of making it taste like the ocean, I think that that's bull malarkey. You don't want it to be that salty. I'd rather get my salt in here, and you know, I put about a tablespoon and a half of salt in this pot.
Do you prefer dried pasta to fresh pasta?
It depends on the application. Honestly, for this, fresh pasta would be amazing. We just don't have the time to do a fresh pasta class, nor do I have the equipment at home. I actually let one of our employees is an amazing, she's just shown amazing initiative with learning the craft of pasta, and she went and bought all these different kinds of flours when this first started and asked if she could bring the pasta roller home. And it's in my best interest to have Miss Darla Schaefer learn how to make amazing pasta. So
wow, yeah, make me a bowl. You know, I have a pasta roller for in my clay studio if you need it.
Nice. Well, what I'm really looking for is an excuse not to have to make fresh pasta.
Yeah, we're gluten-free, so we're definitely not going to be making fresh pasta at home. Or mostly gluten-free. I am, at least. You need help? Can you, Gus? Well, we have you go gluten-free here and there, but...
So this pasta is cooking. This is cooking. Now you'll notice I haven't added this back to it just yet. I'm going to let it just kind of reduce a little bit before. And I'm kind of tossing this fettuccine, or linguine, whatever it is, fettuccine, because it will stick. They love to stick together, and you get those clumps where one's not cooked all the way. So I like to kind of baby this as it goes. I do love a fresh pasta, but I don't think it's... For this, I think spend your time and energy on making the rabbit. One thing I think that it's great for us to do right now, let's taste this sauce and see where we're at with it.
What are you up to, Freddie? You look sneaky. Is that your soup that you made? Put it up on the counter.
Hey, Gus. Here's the sauce.
Nope. Gus says no. Is that your soup? What's in your soup? How did you make it? What'd you add to it? Where are your words? There's a guy named Fred watching. Do something impressive.
You're eating that, Freddie.
Yes.
Excuse me, Gussie.
What do you think?
I've got a little bit of mustard here for when things are ready. And this cream, and this will thicken up on us a little bit as the noodles cook. When we add the parmesan as well, that's going to help it thicken up and coat these noodles. You know what?
Do you have any oil in that water?
No, but I'm not against doing that.
I always put oil in pasta water.
Let's go ahead and...
So you don't like the sauce very much, Gus?
Kids.
It's okay. He is a really adventurous eater considering most kids his age what they'll only eat.
He tried the rabbit after getting so nauseous with me butchering it, so you're
yeah, I mean, he's winning for sure.
You wanted the night.
It was a little weird to eat something
You saw it that way?
that like were grossed out.
Well, think about, broccoli is alive too.
Yeah, we're murdering broccoli every day.
Yeah, I've been murdering lots of broccoli. So if we play this game right, we'll have pasta that's cooked and a sauce that's ready. And you can see as it cooks and as it thickens, the bubbles get more intense and they become almost more foamy.
What's in your soup, Freddie, that's making it opaque like that? What'd you add to that? Juice? Soda water? Did you put chips in there?
No.
Did you put flower petals in there?
No. That
I don't understand what he says.
Do you want just noodles with a couple of pieces of the rabbit in it, no none of the sauce? You're lucky. Substitutions are usually politely declined.
Do I dare you to eat your own soup? Yeah, I dare you.
Don't do it!
Don't do it!
Ah! Should ask him. Ask everybody on the phone if you should do it or not.
He did
Is
it.
Good. Can I have a bite?
Oh boy. That's how you get COVID-19.
Freddy's soup?
Yep.
Yes, definitely. That's the only guaranteed way.
Yeah.
You want to build up those antibodies, come over here, hang out with Freddy.
Yeah.
He's full of antibodies.
Yeah.
No, Freddy's full of bodies. By hanging out with him, you build up antibodies.
Yep. It's full of Legos. Nose Legos. Gus has never shoved a Lego up his nose. Nope.
My friend shoved this Lego block in his nose and he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Was that Johnny? Yeah. Johnny's crazy.
Freddy likes chocolate truffles.
I don't like chocolate truffles.
What are chocolate?
I don't like that kind of chocolate. Fancy chocolate.
Oh, no.
I want those ones from Costco again.
I'm a Hershey's girl. Those salted caramels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go to
They're
Costco.
really good.
Hershey's, yeah.
You really
I
ruined
like
it. No, you guys are ruining. We've got an image that we're trying to portray here, okay? And you are ruining that image.
Yeah, we're supposed to be fancy. We're down on groceries, and we're actually going to have to do mac and cheese with hot dogs tomorrow. That's where we're at right now.
I got about a minute left on this pasta, and see, I got this bowl right here, and I'm just going to drain the pasta, put this pasta noodles in the bowl, and then I'm going to take this sauce, toss it in here, and I can mix it really nicely this way.
You know what, Fred Jones? I could order Costco delivery, but then I wouldn't have any alone time. I have to go to Costco so I can have my me time. And I can impulse buy salted caramel truffles.
That's not an impulse anymore. What started as an impulse is now just a necessity.
It's an order. This goes on the list.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and add the Dijon mustard. That gives you the high note in the pasta sauce. We've got the richness from the cream. We have our rabbit, our bacon with our smokiness. You've got the sherry sweetness. And I don't want to cook the Dijon too hard, so I'm almost done cooking this. That's where I added that. I personally don't like my pasta too al dente, and I know that the customers at Chez Repair don't prefer their pasta al dente either. The best way to tell if it's good is not by throwing it against the ceiling of the refrigerator, but by just taking a bite.
That's how I do it. I like to throw it against the wall.
Should we see if that works?
Yeah. See? It's stuck. Oh my god, now it's down behind the stove. Oh no. It's right there.
Okay.
Alright.
1 second. It's still just a touch too.
Mora's watching.
Hi, Mora.
Hi, Mara. Does Freddie make soup every night? Yeah, every time we do the cooking show, Freddie makes soup. When we ask him what he's making, he just says soup. And this is
all he really wants to make.
This is the most tame soup we've ever had in our kitchen, by far. When we first started, we were just letting him go hog wild with ingredients and food, and he was killing our grocery budget, wasting a lot of food, and creating a huge mess to clean up. So now we've like reined it in quite a bit.
No, it's pretty cold.
Mora, I'm making tiny little Japanese teacups called Unomis. You gotta, I'm gonna send you a picture. Whoa.
So I'm gonna dump that in there. Yeah. Then I'm gonna add Parmesan cheese. Yeah. Then I'm gonna add black truffles.
Yikes.
I need to read it.
Some chopped parsley. And just a little knob of butter. And then I'm just going to...
It smells like Japanese pasta.
It smells like Japanese pasta. Go ahead. And the cheese, when the cheese hits it, it actually thickens it. So you don't want it to be too... This is not... You want it to be creamy and rich. You don't want it to be too thick or else it'll feel heavy and it'll stick to the noodle too much.
Well, you know where the forks live. Get your own fork.
Dad almost forgot one of the most important things in this dish.
Oh my god.
The wabbit. Do you want some butter on yours, Gus?
Yeah. And me.
Okay, let me just finish.
Let me just try this right now. No, I think it's fine.
So, like I said, you guys are riffing along with me and recipe testing. So, I think when I wrote that recipe, I added the rabbit in earlier. But you see how by not cooking the rabbit down in the pot, what we have is these nice chunks. And if, like I said, I'm testing this out as a dish for the restaurant. If you came to the restaurant and ate and you ordered a rabbit pasta, you wouldn't just want like shredded rabbit that you can't see. You would want to eat a bowl of noodles and say, oh, look, here's a nice piece of rabbit. The chef cooked rabbit and I'm eating that. And then there's these flavorful noodles. So let's see what this looks like.
Wait, are there supposed to be peas? Peas in it?
I don't know.
Oh. No
Did
peas.
I say that?
I don't know. Colleen, did he say there was supposed to be
I don't
peas in
think
it?
so.
So
Here, let's go ahead and play it. If there's supposed to be peas in it, then...
put some peas in. We love peas in this house. Somebody said in your book you say you're trying to find ways to serve butter. Have you scaled down the butter in these at-home recipes?
Yeah.
Dad, can I have some butter in mine too?
No, there's no peas in the, somebody said, in the recipe we wrote. But peas would be really good, Colleen.
So then just a little parm on top.
This is a wonder one.
And then if you had more truffle, you could shave some on top. But like, we're not. We're living in quarantine, baby. So there's a nice bowl of pasta.
Yeah. What do you think, Freddie? What does it taste like?
It has salt on it and it's really good.
Salty and good?
Okay, there's a little butter for yours. Do you want a little butter? You want to stir a little butter into yours, Gus?
I don't really care if there's any butter in it.
All right.
Well, Gus is watching his cholesterol.
Where'd you get this kid?
Oh.
I know. He's like a Luddite Protestant trapped in a
So go ahead and
body.
send me a direct message, and what you'll get from me is the braised rabbit. You'll have to take it home, shred it. You'll need the Parmesan cheese and the noodles, and the cream and everything. But you'll have everything up to until the point when it gets cooked in the oven, and then you can go ahead and finish the dish yourself.
Yeah, sounds good.
So thanks, guys. I'm excited to have this for dinner.
Yeah. All right, guys, have a good night.
Have a great night.